OK. Well, off you go. Because when you come back in here, one of you will be fired. Do you know why Aoiffe is coming back? Because he didn't have much to say against her. Why did he bring her in? OK, we'll bring them in.
OK. You can go in now.
Brendan, tell me why Ruth isn't here.
Ruth isn't here, Bill, because I worked with her myself. She contributed an awful lot to this task. You know, while she did fall down on the budget, I felt that there was bigger culprits here, and that's why I brought in Aoiffe and Breffny.
You felt there were bigger culprits?
You know, Breffny didn't actually, I think, contribute enough. He's quite passive here. I tried to empower him, I tried to give him more to do, and I feel he didn't grab the bull by the horns. And Aoiffe, you know, she had full creative control on the sub-team on the design side. The prominence of the brands wasn't strong enough. It was something that irked the suppliers, and rightly so. It was something that I was very, very disappointed on.
So you didn't say you wanted the logo changed. You said you were delighted with it.
One of the things I stressed to you, Aoiffe, the night before was the fact that, you know, look at the last tasks we've done and the sponsors that we're working with, that they need prominence. You're delivering new brands out there. You know the importance of that, and that's why you were chosen for that role.
Absolutely, and I fought to get the brands on there. I enlarged them from what we initially had them. I showed you the final POS at the end of the day and the product packaging, and I said, Brendan, are you happy with this? And you said, yep,
at
delighted.
the end of the day,
well done, guys.
There's nothing else can be changed.
Of course we could have changed it. We changed the jelly bean, humanised jelly beans the next day. If you had said to me, Aoiffe, let's make those logos bigger, I'm project manager here and that's my decision, I would have said, absolutely, no problem, Brendan, let's do that, like. I couldn't fight any more with the teammates I was working with.
We're disagreeing on that one.
Ignoring us.
No, but Brendan, you know what's been said there by Aoiffe? She is an experienced marketeer. She's done all this before.
She has, Bill.
She's done all this before. She knows how to do it. She showed you she could change things quickly, and yet you have her here instead of bringing in Ruth. So, Breffny, have you any idea at all why you're here?
I do, but look, there's serious preconceptions about me, and people on my team and in this process assume that I don't know what I'm talking about because first of all, I don't have that much experience, and second of all, I've been boardroom twice. Now look, when I was PM, I put people in the right jobs, and I made sure the ship ran very smoothly. You didn't do that. You didn't play to people's strengths.
Well, Breff, sorry now, I'll stop you there. You stood right up until we had got the verdict on this task. You
Absolutely.
said, I'm very, very happy with you.
Yeah.
You know, you led us well, you delivered well, you were able to solve problems, you were able to try, you were constantly looking on, foreseeing problems and eradicate them before they came up. And what was shown at us.
That is because, look, I stayed positive.
And now, once we've lost the task, you're saying, oh.
Absolutely. This product, potentially, up until an hour ago, could have been rolled out nationwide, and I wanted to give it as good of a PR push as I could. So obviously, the gloves had to come off afterwards.
Of course, yeah,
so, you know, I put a bit of a sheen on it.
You never back anything up, Breff.
That's because there's preconceptions here. Look,
preconceptions.
Yeah, of course. Okay. People think that I shouldn't be more than just a T-boy here. That's absolutely rubbish. I've got a Harvard degree, and my gut instincts are right.
You don't seem to trust Breffny.
Bill, I made more effort.
Sorry, I'm listening. I got to calm down, but fine. I'll listen.
I trusted Breffny, Bill, to wrap up the presentation. I mean, that's trust. I asked him to become involved with the design phase. Other project managers exiled him and tried to push him to the side where I very much made a very conscious effort.
You need to trust my intuition here. We needed to run with the cracker and we didn't. Look, I don't have experience and you do, and that's why I wanted you to be project manager in this.
The cracker. Like, I mean,
exactly.
It could have been a snowball later.
The loss. We lost because it wasn't a
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, come on.
Breff, the reasons why you're here is based solely on this task and nothing else, not from your previous history in the boardroom.
Breffny, you're defending yourself here. Who do you think I should fire?
Well, look, I can't really put too fine a point on it, but I think the important thing about project management is you pick the right people for the right places. And, you know, that's what I did and when I was project manager, and that's not what Brendan did here. He should have taken Geraldine on the product team because, first of all, she wanted to do it, and second of all, she would have been
and what
great at buying it.
What experience does...
Well, let's talk about experience.
Hold on. Let's... Now,
Yeah.
You've said your piece. What experience does Ruth have in concept design over Geraldine, say?
You're touting experience to be important.
So, Breffny, you seem to be saying that you're hiding your talents and you're waiting for people to give you the opportunity
Not at
to
all.
use them.
I'm trying to put them on show, and people just aren't listening. Now, the change I'll make from this, I'm not going to sit by and let project managerships go to the people who, just because they claim they have more experience. I've learned my lesson now, and I know that intuition is the most valuable thing here, and I've been consistently right on my gut feelings, and when they've been listened to, they've paid off.
Breffny, there's
a
a saying which says hindsight is 20/20, and I think you're focusing on maybe 2% of what you said over the course of the days. What about the other things that I think Aoiffe would agree as well?
2020 applies to you in many of the questions that I was asking about Ruth. You didn't know it either. You see it now, you see it now, you see it now, I understand. Why shouldn't I fire you, Aoiffe?
I don't think you should fire me, Bill, because I've been consistently strong so far each week. I've brought a lot to the table, and I still have a hell of a lot more to give. Brendan lost 4 tasks in a row, and I led him to his first win last week as project manager. Breffny has been in the boardroom twice before, and in my opinion, this is my first time working with him. He really had little or nothing to contribute to the team.
So why shouldn't I fire you, Breffny?
Bill, my gut instincts are usually right. When I lead a task, I win. I think if people trust my intuition, start coming around to the fact that I have a good head on my shoulders, then I think things will be right. Because, look, we would have won this task if people listened to me more.
So, Brendan, why shouldn't I fire you?
Bill, you shouldn't fire me because I've been very, very consistent throughout the other tasks. I have a track record.
You just said to Breffny that you're only judging him on this task.
Well, I'm looking at his performance, but I said that I don't want to have those preconceptions, and I judged him on this. I don't want to make up my mind, or I don't want to have someone dictate to me.
So what did you contribute on this task?
Well, you know, in terms of the product was something that we all agreed on. We had to be decisive in picking that.
But the product, we've already said that the product just wasn't the winner. Do you see where the 3s have let me down on this one? Do you?
Yes, Bill.
Let you down.
And it's a really tough one for me to call, because one is as bad as the other here. I've always seen over the past few weeks you have marketing abilities to burn, but it didn't happen here. You let it all go down the tubes. In every sense of that word, Breffny, you're the same. And there's certainly nothing happening in the context of a contribution that makes a difference. You have all these ideas that are never used by people. You had the crack or you wouldn't do it. Brendan, you're responsible for Ruth, seeing that she's not here. You're responsible for her. She gets forecast wrong. She doesn't know anything about that, and neither do you. Does not think there's something wrong in all of that? And it's not easy. But one of you have to go. And I have to make up my mind about that on my instinct, Breffny. My instinct comes in here. Instinct is more than what I see in people. It's about their attitude. It's about how they have or have not got people skills. It's about how they have or have not the ability to pull a team together. It's about having attention to detail. But most of all, it's probably about one word that I've always used, and that's integrity. And there's been a couple of occasions, particularly in this task, when I think you polished the truth. And that's probably the main reason why I'm saying to you, you're fired.
Thank you, Bill. Well done, guys.
Breffny, you have a Harvard University degree? Is that what I heard?
Yes, Bill.
In what?
Biology.
Well, all I can say to you is this. You better start picking up some common sense very fast. And if you have ideas, put them out on the table where people can see them.
Yes, Bill.
Aoiffe, let us down very badly. Let yourself down. And I'm telling you, I'm not putting up with it. So take that on board, and off you go.
Thank you.
I think Breffny should have been fired. He says he has an awful lot to offer and that he's these talents, but I haven't seen him use them yet. You know, I can understand why Bill might have let me go, but at the same time, I should have convinced him otherwise, and I'm disappointed that I didn't do that.
Then it should be Brendan, because he was PM and he didn't step up to the mark.
I think it's going to be a
Brendan.
double whammy. Breffny, Brendan, or just Breffny.
If he comes back, he could be a threat to us, you know.
Just lucky, Ruth.
That's the only threat.
Ooh, all right.
And what did Brendan say?
Not much, like, I think he nearly kind of gave up a little bit. Oh, I kind of just left Brett and Brendan at it. There was nearly fists at one stage, I think.
The arms are flying.
He referred to himself as a T-boy. You know, and at one point he had to say, hang on, I need to calm myself down. He said, Breffny, I don't know how you're doing it. Yeah.
With 6 gone and 8 remaining, the search for Bill Cullen's apprentice continues. Next week on The Apprentice.
This is a perfect challenge to separate the true contenders from the amateurs.
We need to help these out or we're going to have crazy bar chocolate with a crazy name.
What am I fucking 6 years old? I told you they don't fit. Like.
You need to row in behind your leader now.
Is he actually serious?
Why can't you just come out directly with an answer? You were fired.